It's
Team 7.
news at 6 o'clock.
In this video, we're analyzing Case 14, JetBlue and WestJet, a tale of two information systems projects.
So WestJet and JetBlue are two airlines which wanted to replace their IT systems. Their goal was to replace an older reservation system designed for startup airlines to a system that can handle its future growth and its strategic goals. So, what exactly is different about this new system? The new IT system, named SabreSonic Customer Sales and Service, would be able to handle more sales volume and provide more functions to the company as well as the customers. In addition to being able to sell seats and collect payments, the new system would allow WestJet and JetBlue to collaborate with partner airlines to sell seamless transfers. Passengers would be able to select their preferred seat, shop on the airline's website, or check in online the day of departure. So what is the big issue? Not only is overhauling an IT system a huge cost, it is also a very complex project. Imagine for a second, you need brain surgery. During the surgery, you will need to communicate with the surgeon, the nurses, and your family. In addition, other body systems will also need to continue to function. Your heart will need to continue to supply blood throughout your body, and your lungs will need to supply air. When the operation is complete, your new brain needs to be accepted by your body, as well as the external environment. To complicate things further, you now speak a different language. To bring this back to our case, replacing an IT system is like replacing the brain of an airline company. An IT overhaul involves many interrelated departments, such as sales, operations, customer service, and accounting, which all need to function with one another continuously. According to Flight Global, airlines are unique since their high volume, high value product is perishable and is on sale 24/7 in an extremely dynamic global marketplace. As we will see from WestJet and JetBlue, predicting the outcome of a total IT overhaul is challenging, real challenging, and it can have a significant impact on business if done poorly. So first, we'll look at WestJet.
WestJet is a Canadian airline founded in Calgary that focuses on low cost and quality customer service. They grew quickly through the early 2000s and had some 8,000 employees and operated 420 flights per day at the time of the reservation system switch.
What did they plan?
WestJet selected SabreSonic to replace its legacy reservation system that it had outgrown. They chose a changeover time of October 2009, which is typically a slow time for Canadian air travel, being after Thanksgiving and before the Christmas holiday season. Management knew the importance of the people component of information systems, so WestJet invested 150,000 cumulative hours in staff training for the new software. WestJet employees prepped the data for the transfer from the old system, making it compatible with SabreSonic CSS.
It sounds like they did their homework. How was their implementation stage?
Well, Dean, it was pretty messy.
840,000 records for reservations made with the old system for future flights had to be moved. On top of that, reservations were not accessible during the lengthy transfer, leaving customers and booking agents unable to book new flights or change existing ones. With the infrastructure change taking place, the website was unstable and crashed several times. This led to a massive increase in phone calls to booking agents and hours-long hold times.
Despite the amount of training, a WestJet spokesperson noted they encountered some problems in the live environment that simply did not appear on the test environment.
Okay, so how did WestJet and their customers react to these issues?
Customers were angry, Dean. Inaccessible reservations to check times, departure gates, or make changes are a huge impediment to air travel. Customers took to the complaint lines and social media to voice their displeasure. This was especially troubling for an airline that separated itself from competition like Air Canada on its quality customer service. WestJet issued a public apology attempting to communicate the issues to their customers. They ended up sourcing a couple hundred temporary call center workers to help ease the wait times on the call lines. Over time, WestJet managed to catch up on the backlog.
Their revenues took a hit in late 2009, with lost goodwill and the need to give out substantial travel credits and refunds. They were able to remain profitable, but had to delay some of their planned growth.
So now we'll have a look at JetBlue and see what they learned.
JetBlue is an American company incorporated in 1998. Like every other airline company, their goal is to provide excellent services at affordable price. They employ around 12,000 employees and handles 800 daily flights. They owned 151 planes at that time.
So what plans did JetBlue come up with?
Advantage of seeing WestJet, they start implementing the plans months before. They also learn from their past mistakes, and learning from past mistakes is the best way to make progress. In 2007, they tried to operate flights during snowstorm, which turned out to be a bad decision for company. Almost 1,100 flights were cancelled and passengers were stranded for as long as 10 hours, incurring a loss of $29 million. At that moment, company realized that airline IT infrastructure is not capable of handling bigger crises. As a part of preparation, they hired 500 temporary call center workers so that they don't have any problem in implementing the new system and their service will not be affected. JetBlue also built a backup website in case their website crashes. In addition to that, company made decision to switch files to separate servers on Friday night because there are not many bookings on Saturdays. Moreover, they also sell less number of seats on the flights taking off that day.
So how did it go with JetBlue in terms of implementation?
Well, as a result, they were able to avoid many risks involved, but still experienced few glitches like there was increase in call wait times along with having trouble in bringing ticket printers online. And when scenario get worse, they ended up hiring temporary offshore call center workers. Moreover, they also have to use backup sites several times, but at the end it goes well with JetBlue, all thanks to WestJet for their advice.
Alright, so what could have been done differently to implement these IT systems?
It would be advantageous to have a proactive approach like what JetBlue than a retroactive approach like WestJet had. In doing this, you would save lots of time and money in your efforts.
So what are the best ways to reduce risk of a project of this magnitude?
A development of a project plan would be useful for both companies in this situation. The main components would be to analyze project size, develop a project structure, and train staff in order to have experience with the technology.
When analyzing project size, the total amount of dollars spent on the project should be calculated in order to determine if the project is worth the time. More temporary staff should be hired in order to help the transition, mainly to help with tech issues or customer complaints. In addition, training these staff members, more depending on the difficulty of the software, would be useful. Some kinds of training could include instructor-led sessions, hands-on time with software, or collaborative training with all the members of the business. An approximation on the amount of time spent on the project should be calculated to ensure that the project isn't over their heads. After all factors of the project are determined, an overall evaluation of the project should be done by management.
Now, is the project worth it? For JetBlue and WestJet, these projects were worth their time as they needed to expand their business.
Great. Is there a type of strategy that would work best?
Yeah, in this scenario, it would be smart to implement a parallel or combination strategy. This one would have both the old and new systems running at the same time. All new reservations would be put on the new system, and the old one would run its course with the current reservations.
With this strategy, the eventual transfer of data would be much smaller, as most of the old reservation process would have run its course. Customers would receive little to no effect on the transfer of the system, other than the difficulties with the new system put in place. Relating back to the brain analogy, rather than taking one brain out and then replacing this with a new one, implement both brains and remove the old one once the data is used up. It might end up being a bit squishy up there, Dean.
Yeah, you're certainly right on that point, Cam. Alright, that's all we have for today. Thanks for tuning in.